The concept of the visual mindscape is actually very simple. If film is first and foremost a visual medium, does it not make sense that the screenplay, which is the spine, the heart, the soul of the film, should it not also be a visual experience? One truth that all screenwriters should be aware of is that your audience is not the reader, but rather the viewer within the reader. If in Citizen Kane you were told the meaning of the word rosebud, would it have had the same impact as it did when you saw the sleigh being tossed into the furnace? Of course not. And at no point are you ever told that the sled represents, but when you see it thrown into the furnace, you put the pieces together. You recognize the implications of his childhood and discover a certain surprising truth about Charles Foster Kane. The important point here is that you discover this truth, and thus you own it. A novelist expresses their story by using a form of internal dialogue through the thoughts, feelings, emotions, and memories of its characters. A stage play primarily articulates its story through the verbal interaction of the characters. A fully realized screenplay tells its story through images, through a visual mindscape told within the dramatic structure. Of course, dialogue is vital to the screenplay. I'm not saying otherwise. And of course, the set design is of significant importance in a stage play. But when you go to see a stage play, no matter how extraordinary the set is, you are predetermined to listen to the play. When you walk into a movie theater, no matter whether it's an Aaron Sorkin film and the dialogue is extraordinary, you are still predetermined to watch the movie. Now, there are many screenwriters who use the playwright's approach in writing their screenplays. They tell their story rather than showing it, and there are a number of reasons for this. The most obvious is it's just plain easier. It's easier to tell a story than to seek out the visual interpretations and external symbols of the story. It takes more time, more thought, and more craftsmanship to find the visual implications of the screenplay because it is often not readily available to us. I suggest to you that when you do not seek the visual mindscape of your story, it will never rise to its full potential. It can't. You have set limits to it. You have deprived your screenplay and your reader-viewer of the real magic of what a screenplay can offer. This is the magic of discovery. I don't like to deal with absolutes, but here is one that I have no reservation in stating. Whether you choose to ignore it or not, there is always an image on the screen. Even when you choose to tell rather than show your story, the visual aspect still remains. It doesn't disappear. It may be two talking heads standing in front of a blank wall. It may be boring, it may be cold and empty, but one absolute is that there is always an image, even if you have chosen to overlook it. I believe that a fully realized screenplay exploits the visual potential of each scene, making use of what I call the visual mindscape of the screenplay. A list of the various ways one can express and strengthen their visual aspects of their script can be found in both my book and our online courses. The various tools that make up the visual mindscape include withholding and discovery, absolute present tense, the law of contradiction, location as allegory, use of the visual metaphor, narrative pacing, narrative atmosphere, the minimum environment, triggers and anchors, visual representation of the character's inner engine, and the visual flow of time, tense, and location. In future videos, I will touch on each of these aspects. In the meantime, check out my website for more information at www.billboyle.net or the Facebook page the visual mindscape of the screenplay. All the best in all of your future screenwriting adventures. Thank you.